Greetings students, I am Iqbal Kaur, lecturer in biology. Welcome to another session of Plant Kingdom. Today's learning objectives are to help you understand the characteristic features and the life cycle of gymnosperms, to enable you to understand how gymnosperms are more advanced than pteridophytes, to help you learn and appreciate the economic importance of gymnosperms, to help you understand the development of seed and their ability to survive without protective covering, to enhance your observation and drawing skills, to help you appreciate the biodiversity of flora of our country and understand its importance, to help you relate your classroom knowledge with your daily life. In our previous session, we have learnt about bryophytes and pteridophytes. We have also discussed about their classification into liverworts and mosses and horsetails and ferns respectively. Now, let us start with our new topic, gymnosperms. What comes in your mind when you think about Christmas? Cakes, jingles, Christmas carols and a beautiful Christmas tree. The Christmas tree has a peculiar structure. It is cone shaped, isn't it? Have you ever seen flowers growing on it? You are right if your answer to this question is no, because they are gymnosperms and gymnosperms have no flowers like angiosperms. Can you think about any other gymnosperms growing in your surroundings? You must have heard about pines, spruce, fir, yews, etc. Common examples are Araucaria, Pinus, Cycas, Thuja and Cedrus deodara. These gymnosperms are primitive seed plants which are believed to be evolved in Paleozoic era and were abundant during Mesozoic era. These plants are considered as an advanced group if we compare it with pteridophytes. Pteridophytes, which we have already learned, reproduce by spores. Gymnosperms are the vascular plants which do not have spores, instead they have seeds. They all are evergreen plants, although some of them are deciduous. Ginkgo biloba is a deciduous tree, fossils of which dates back to 200 million years ago. Now, it is not found in its wild habitat. Only a few of them are being grown as ornamentals or for preservation purpose. In India, only a single tree is known to be growing naturally in Manali in Kulu district of Himachal Pradesh. We can also find one of such tree in lawn of Indian Institute of Advanced Studies located in Shimla in Himachal Pradesh. However, this is a cultivated one. It is very interesting to know that this plant is one of the few species of plants known to have 6 chromosomes. Leaves of Ginkgo biloba resembles the fern Adiantum, also known as maidenhair fern. So, this tree is also called as maidenhair tree. If we talk about the habitat of gymnosperms, gymnosperms can occupy large area of earth surface and can be found in a variety of habitats. Most of them prefer to grow at higher altitudes ranging from temperate to alpine regions where snowfall occurs. Some of them are also found in warmer areas such as deserts. You can find them in equatorial regions too. How did gymnosperms get their name? Let us understand the term from which it is derived. The word gymnosperm is derived from two Greek words, gymnos, which means naked, and sperma, which means seed. The seeds are not enclosed within the fruit, or they are not enclosed in any protective covering called fruit. Thus, we can say vascular plants which have naked seeds are gymnosperms. In the given picture, you can see something like orange color. These are seeds of cycas growing on cycas tree. You must be aware of the term seed. Do you know what is seed scientifically? You may recall that they are fertilized ovules. Here in gymnosperms, naked ovules after fertilization also develop into seed. All plants which belong to gymnosperms have naked seeds. That means the ovules or seed do not have any protective covering. The given picture is of a single seed of Cycas. That same orange thing visible in the previous slide. In apples or lychees, the seeds are found within fruit. The ovules or seed develop on the surface of scale leaves as in the case of Cycas. In the picture, you can see the scale leaves bearing orange colored mature ovules, that is seeds, which we have already discussed in the previous slide too. No fruit is present outside. As seeds are naked, the seed coat serves as a barrier against fungal and bacterial decay. In woody trees like pinus or cedrus, the seeds develop on specialized woody structures called cones. Since gymnosperms bear seeds, they are categorized into spermatophytes along with another seed bearing group, angiosperms. The shape and size of gymnosperms also vary. They can be medium sized trees, as you must have seen cycas at many places such as gardens or even in pots. They can be shrubs such as ephedra, which is found in Himalayas, and Welwitschia, which is found in African deserts. Zamia pygmea is the smallest gymnosperms. Pygme comes from pygmes, which means small. They can be tall trees. You must have heard about tallest tree, sequoia. These redwood trees is believed to be evolved when the dinosaurs were roaming on this earth, and they are still present on the earth today. Roots of gymnosperms are of taproot type, as you have learnt in your previous classes. They do not have fibrous roots, although these plants are green and photosynthetic. In some of the trees like pinus, the roots lack root hairs, thus they are unable to absorb mineral nutrients from the soil. So, they rely on symbiotic association with fungus, which performs the function of root hairs. Such association of fungi with the roots of higher plants is called mycorrhiza. Here myco means fungus and rhiza means roots. Mycorrhiza helps the plant to absorb minerals from soil, especially phosphorus. The mycorrhizal association also increases resistance to root-borne pathogens and tolerance to salinity and drought. In the given diagram, you can see mycorrhiza of two types, endomycorrhiza and ectomycorrhiza. In pinus, ectomycorrhiza can be seen. Example for fungus which remains associated with the roots of pinus is glomus. In cycas, along with the taproot, a special type of negatively geotropic root is also present. These are called coralloid roots. The dichotomous branching of these roots have an appearance similar to corals growing in the sea, so they are called coralloid roots. They are present at the base of the stem and grows out from the soil. These roots have a symbiotic association with cyanobacteria such as nostoc and anabina. Cyanobacteria live in algal zone of the cortex of coralloid roots. It fixes nitrogen for the cycas plant. Nitrogen is one of the important nutrients, and at the same time its availability is limited. Microbes such as cyanobacteria have the ability to fix nitrogen when the plant is devoid of nitrogen. This is the key feature of symbiotic association between the two organisms. Branching of stems also varies in different members of gymnosperm group. The stem is unbranched such as in cycas, but if we see pinus or cedrus, we will find branched stems. Shoots are of two types here. Shoots with limited growth, which is a dwarf shoot, and the other with unlimited growth, which is long shoot. You can see this too in the given diagram. As they are vascular plants, the water conducting tissue is xylem. The main conducting cell is tracheids, whereas the vessel elements are absent in most of the gymnosperms. The development of a vascular system capable of transporting water throughout the plant enabled gymnosperms to colonize land. We also find variety in the type of leaves. They can be of simple type or of compound leaf type. In cycas, the leaves are pinnately compound. They are thick and leathery and have thick cuticle. These leaves remain on the tree for few years. In conifers such as pinus and cedrus, the leaves are needle-like, which is a xerophytic feature. They are found in hilly regions where snowfall occurs. This makes water a limited resource. As water freezes, plants growing there feel water scarcity. So, they develop xerophytic features by reducing the surface to needle form. The needles of pine, like those of other conifers, are well adapted for growth in dry environments. The surface of needle has thick waxy cuticle which reduces transpiration loss. The stomata are also reduced in number. If we observe the leaves under the microscope, we will find that stomata are beneath the surface of the cell. They are often called sunken stomata. This stomata adaptation further reduces water loss. You can see the comparison of the position of stomata of higher plants and sunken stomata. The thick upper surface in the given diagram is of thick cuticle. Gymnosperms are mostly monoecious, that is, the male and female reproductive structures are found in the same plant. An exception is cycas, which is dioecious. In cycas, male and female reproductive structures are found in different plants. Male and female reproductive structures are found in compact structures called cones or strobili. Irrespective of whether they are monoecious or dioecious, all gymnosperms develop two different types of spores, thus they are heterosporous. Male produce highly reduced spores called microspores and female produce a large megaspore. Both of these can be seen in the given diagram. In the upper diagram, the picture is depicting microspores carrying sporophylls marked by an arrow. In the picture below, you can see sporophyll carrying ovules and an ovule. Irrespective of whether it is a microspore or megaspore, both types of spores are produced within sporangia and sporangia are borne on sporophylls. In the given picture, the microsporangia of cycas are shown, which are present in groups called sori. These sori are present on sporophylls. If we look at megaspores, two different types of sporophylls are present. Sporophyll of cycas bear more than 2 megasporangia and that of pinus bears 2 megasporangia, which are present on sporophyll. Sporophylls of microspores and megaspores are arranged spirally on axis or central region. This makes a compact structure called cones or strobili. In the given picture, both male and female cones are visible on thuja plant. This is a very common plant which you must have seen. Male cones are present on higher branches and female cones are present on lower branches. Microspores within the sporangia develop into a male gametophyte. They are haploid. Male gametophyte is highly reduced and is called pollen grains. Male cones fall early as soon as they shed their pollen grains. In gymnosperms, no N3D are present unlike pteridophytes. Only a few primitive members of gymnosperms such as cycas bear multiflagellated sperms. Similarly, the ovules or megasporangia are borne by megasporophyll. The number of ovules per megasporophyll is quite less in number. These megaspores are different from pteridophytes because in gymnosperms, the megaspore is enclosed within a protective covering. After fertilization, the protective covering develops into a seed coat. We have discussed this earlier too. Each megasporophyll shown by red arrows in the diagram is spirally arranged on the axis to form scaly or woody structures. These woody structures are called female cones or female strobili. As megaspores are present on sporophylls, these cones are also called as megasporangiate cones. In Pinus, the cones take 3 years to mature. In the picture, you can see all 3 types of cones depending upon their age. The shown diagram A and B are of transverse section of both male and female cones of Pinus respectively. You can see the axis where microsporophyll and megasporophylls are arranged on the central axis. Pollen grains are present on microsporophylls and ovules are present on megasporophylls. As you can see in the diagram, within the ovule, which is also called as megaspore, is developed from one of the cells of nutritive tissue called nucellus. The whole structure is enclosed within the protective envelopes. The megaspore mother cell divides meiotically to form 4 megaspores. One of these 4 cells develop into an egg cell. It is present within archegonia. There is a pollen chamber where pollen grains come and get deposited after pollination. The gametophyte is retained within the megasporangium before and after fertilization. Thus, we can say that gametophyte is not independent or have free living existence, unlike bryophytes and pteridophytes. They are retained within sporophytes. The pollen grains are released from sporangia and are carried away by wind. So, anemophily happens here, which is pollination by wind. Unlike pteridophytes, no water is required for fertilization here. These pollen grains are released in large number. They cause hay fever or asthma or cause pollen pollution. You must have also come across people say that they are allergic to pollen. These pollen grains are yellow, so they are called as sulfur shower. If it rains, when pollen grains are in air, they are deposited on soil too. In the given picture, you can see winged pollen grains. Wings are useful for anemophily. In the other picture, you can see the yellow color sulfur shower near my foot. I have already told you that male cones in the case of Pinus are present on the higher branches and female cones are present on the lower branches. When pollen grains are released in the air, they reach the archegonia of ovule and stay there for an year. They do not immediately fertilize the ovule. Fertilization is delayed. The pollen tube arise and male gametes are released near the mouth of archegonia. In the given diagram, you can see landing place of pollen grains. So, what do you think happens after fertilization? After fertilization, the zygote develops into embryo. The embryo gets its nutrition from endosperm, which is developed way before fertilization. These seeds are naked. They are not covered by any fruit. Sometimes the seeds are winged, as you can see in the given picture. The mature cones open up and seeds are blown away by the wind. However, in case of cycas, wings are absent. Let us now recapitulate the whole process that we have discussed so far. The main plant body is sporophyte, which is diploid. Male and female gametophyte are developed after meiosis in male and female cones. These are haploid. Gametophytes do not have independent existence. After fertilization, zygote is developed and the diploid nature is restored here. The zygote develops into an embryo within the seed. The seeds are naked and they germinate into sporophyte. Gymnosperms are very useful for us. and for our environment too. They serve as habitat for many wildlife fauna. As they grow on mountains, they help to bind the soil and prevent soil erosion. They are efficient in soaking up carbon dioxide, thereby reducing the greenhouse effect and global warming. The wood of conifers is used as timber. It is also used in paper production. Gum, resins are also obtained from these. Oils such as turpentine oil is used in varnish and paints. Cedarwood oil is used in soaps and perfumes. Some of them are source of food. For example, starch is obtained from cycas stem. Seeds of pinus, locally known as chilgoza, are edible. With this, we have come to the end of our lesson on gymnosperms. Let us do a quick recap. We have learnt different types of gymnosperms, how they are advanced than the first land plants, that is pteridophytes. We also learned that microsporophylls and megasporophylls are arranged in cone-like structures. Microspores and megaspores do not require water for fertilization. Instead, they are wind pollinated. We learned about the life cycle of gymnosperms and economic importance of gymnosperms. Here is an assignment for you. Have you ever visited any hill station and did you see pinus growing? Seeds of one of the species of pinus are used as dry fruits and are edible. Collect some information about dry fruits by discussing it with your grandparents or other elders. Second question, the wood of gymnosperms is used for making doors, windows and furniture. It is quite durable. What could be the reason behind its durability? Collect some information about the type of wood used to make furniture, doors or windows in your area where there are no gymnosperms. Hope you have enjoyed today's session. In next session, you will learn about characteristic features and life cycle of angiosperms, different types of alternation of generation in the plant kingdom. Till then, stay curious, enjoy learning and goodbye.